Washer Harry.
Catherine.
Shay Ellison. Gemma.
Lauren Matson.
Roland.
I'm Shay.
15. 17.
16 years old.
16.
15 years old.
16.
17.
Shay Monterey.
From Morgan Hill.
Scotts Valley.
From China.
From Salinas.
Taiwan.
Watsonville, California.
You call me out upon the waters, the great unknown, where feet may fail. And there I find you in the mystery, in oceans deep, my faith will stand. My soul will rest in your embrace, for I am yours. You are mine.
And then the other one is a warning, and it's in Exodus 22:22. And it says, do not take advantage of the widow or the fatherless. And then listen to this. It says, if you do, there's a lot of scripture that talks about this, like if you do this, then God will bless us with this. And then there are some scriptures that are, I mean, it's all serious, but there's some scriptures like this that say, if you do, and they cry out to me, I will certainly hear their cry, and my anger will be aroused, and I will kill you with the sword, and your wives will become widows, and your children will become fatherless. So, to take care of the orphans, and this ministry here is absolutely an extension of that, and was born out of the burden for the kids at Door of Faith, and then by extension the community here in La Mission. But you need to know, when God puts something on somebody's heart, Peter, Zoe, and whatnot, as far as this trip, and then the donation that is involved with this trip for the paint, and the roller course that you guys are going to see installed. And then the bigger thing is your guys' time and your heart that you put into this, and the detail that you put into it, and the care and concern and the ownership that you take on this building. It's time to begin to express to you how important your donation is to this ministry, and that you are critical, and it's a pivotal donation to turning the corner for this ministry, being able to look towards the light at the end of the tunnel and being able to finish and really be able to seriously talk about, okay, now let's talk about classes.
Spirit, lead me where my trust is without borders. Let me walk upon the waters wherever you would call me. Take me deeper than my feet could ever wander, and my faith would be made stronger in the presence of my Savior. Spirit, lead me where my trust is without borders. Let me walk upon the waters wherever you would call me. Take me deeper than my feet could ever wander, and my faith would be made stronger in the presence of my Savior. Spirit, lead me where my trust is without
any one of you guys, if he were as a young girl or boy came up to you like this, your heart's gonna break, it's gonna melt, you're gonna pick up and you're gonna be so excited on the inside. Okay? And that's the exact picture that God has when he comes down to you and you're hurting, you're struggling, you're crying, you're fearful. He's just saying, I'm just waiting for you to run to me. And that's what this week is all about. You know, so that you guys can see a physical representation. I mean, if you can think about how much you love those children out there, think about how much more he's ready to love you.
But you're doing it and you're having a great time doing it. So what's the difference? You're doing it for somebody else. God created us to serve others. And that is where joy in this life comes from. Representing Christ to others. If we look at what Christ did, when Jesus was here, the 3 years he was in ministry, it was all about others. Serving, teaching, encouraging, feeding, healing those around him.
My soul will rest in your embrace. I am yours, and you are mine.
But there was one day I knew this is what I wanted. I had gotten to know that orphanage, and I came down on my own one day. I lived in Southern California, so it wasn't that far to drive. And I came down and brought them a piece of equipment they needed. And it was just a typical day, like you guys might just go to school one day. You know, just you never know where God's going to just like hit you with something. And I was by myself at the orphanage. And it feels a little different when you're not with all your friends and hanging out and you're all on the playground together. I was just at that orphanage by myself, kind of watching what was going on. And something happened. And you don't think about it, but all those great kids you've been playing with the last couple days, every single one had a first day in the orphanage. And if they're old enough to know what's going on, a lot of our kids come in older, they don't always come in as babies. If they know what's going on, it is a terrifying, horrible experience that they will remember the rest of their lives. They were either abandoned by their family and thrown away, or they were pulled out of a horrible abusive situation but thrown into a scary orphanage. But either way, their life as they knew it is over. And for a 7-year-old, a 10-year-old, that brands them. They will remember that the rest of their lives. And there was a boy being dropped off at that orphanage while I was just sitting there that day. And I could see the terror on him. His life was over as he knew it. And I had nothing. What do you say to that? I didn't speak the language, but even if I did, what do you say to that? And I sat with him. Just like some of you have been holding the kids. But it's not their first day, but you've just been there for them, even if you can't communicate with them. And I sat with that kid. And we split a Coke, and he cried. And a couple hours later, I got in my car and drove home. And it had a profound impact on me. Because most of our lives are pretty superficial. And I had been involved in a lot of ministry, I'd done a lot of traveling, and I really hurt for him, but the bigger thing I felt was I had never felt so used by God. As I was sitting in the dirt with that kid at that moment when he needed somebody. And I wanted more of that. I wanted to experience more of that. And you guys have had a little sample of that little joy in serving others this week already.
Bounds in deepest waters, your sovereign hand.
Thanks to you guys that you guys are taking your time. You took your time to come and help. And it's going to be a life-changing story for you, like it's going to be a life-changing story for us. I just want to say thank you. Mary, I talked to her this morning. She was crying. She really wanted to say thank you to every single one of you. You guys will be able to meet her. I don't know if you guys met her yet, but she said that God will triple everything you guys do.